I really wish somebody had grabbed me by the shoulders and like shaken me and said, Sandy, no, it's not the strategy. It's just that you keep jumping around. It cost me revenue because once I finally got to the point where I was comfortable speaking to my ideal client, where I had my signature offer, where I had pricing locked in, where my messaging felt solid and like something that I could back, it was never about strategy. It was just about me giving it enough time to actually compound. Once I learned how to do that and to stay in it and sit in the uncomfortable, everything changed. Hey there, and welcome to the Life and Business on Purpose podcast, where purpose meets profit and mindset meets strategy. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, former kindergarten teacher turned online business coach, mom of two really cool boys, and the creator of the Momentum Method. Through this 3-phase method over the past 2.5 years, I have helped dozens of women build values-aligned, profitable businesses without working 40+ hours a week so they get to enjoy their business and live their lives on purpose. Around here, we do business differently because we believe success isn't about hustling to prove ourselves. We don't believe in rigid formulas or chasing someone else's version of success. It's about channeling perfection into power, moving with unstoppable trust in life and business, and leading with strategy that actually fits your life. Let's build your life and business on purpose together, one episode at a time. Here we go. Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. You know, I'm so freaking thrilled that you're here and I love spending this time with you. So I want to start this episode today with a question for you. How many offers have you created in the last 2 years? How many times have you rewritten your messaging or rewritten who your ideal client is or changed your niche or bought another course or strategy because you thought the last one wasn't working? What if none of those things were actually ever the problem? And I just want to say, if you are anything like me, I know that you do not have an inconsistency problem. Like, you can be consistent. This is about something so much deeper, and it's something that I've noticed across the board popping up recently with my clients, something that I wish somebody had pointed out for me a long time ago. And it's something that I've been calling self-interruption inside of your business. And most people think, like, when I say self-interruption, like, what comes to your mind when I say that? Most people think that it looks really dramatic or like, oh my gosh, it's this big thing, but it really doesn't. It's honestly all the times that we think, maybe my messaging isn't clear enough. So we go hire another coach who we think is going to tell us how to fix our messaging and make that tweak so that our business all of a sudden blows up. Or I need a different offer. So what can I create that people will actually buy because nobody's buying the offer that I currently have? Or maybe I need to change my audience and speak to a whole different person. Or let me just like buy this course first or go through the replays of this program that I bought and then I'll be good to go. Or I'll relaunch this, another time. All of those things sound logical and sound reasonable, right? And this is why this is so dangerous. Online business coaches are not changing their strategies because they're being irrational or, like I said, inconsistent at all. They're changing strategies because they're just feeling uncomfortable. I was on a call this morning and the person was telling me, Sandy, like, I just launched my podcast last week. I dropped the first episode and it only has 1 download and I'm so disappointed. And I'm just like, I put all this work into it and like, it's not working. And I was like, whoa, hold on. It's only been 1 week. Like, you haven't actually given it enough time. And it's like a baby. Like, I wouldn't expect my newborn to like get up on day 2 and go ride a bike, right? Like, there's so much that comes in between. But the uncomfortableness comes when the certainty isn't there. Like, the certainty in this case that people are listening, that people care, that this podcast is going to do what it needs to do inside of this person's sales pathway. So we assume that it's something that we're doing wrong. And other examples of this might be a slow month. right? In your business. So it must be the offer. People don't want my offer. So let me go change the offer or make a new offer that I think people will buy. Or you have a slow sales month. So it must then be the messaging, right? So we go tweak the messaging, or there's no engagement. So then we're banging our head against the wall thinking the algorithm hates me, Instagram hates me. Instead of asking one really simple question that's going to snap you right out of this. And that question is, do I have enough evidence yet to change directions? That is the question. Instead, they're asking, how do I fix this now? How do I solve this? And I'm sure you are just like me, 100% perfectionist, control freak. Like, I want to know the answer before I start something. I want to know the result. I want to know the outcome before I begin. So immediately, if something isn't quote unquote working, I'm into, how do I fix this? What do I need to do? But these are two completely different questions. Do I have enough evidence to change directions versus how do I fix this now? Coming from a place of almost like panic and like, oh my gosh, I posted the podcast last week, the one episode, and only one person has listened. Like, oh, I gotta, I need to panic. Or I posted this thing and nobody's engaging with it. So it must be my messaging. And we go and we jump ship and try to fix things right away. We don't want to sit in that uncomfortable feeling. So it's in our nature to try to do something to fix it or to change it instead of just sitting in that uncomfortable feeling and let it be uncomfortable for a little bit and recognizing, yeah, I feel uncomfortable. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. But do I have enough evidence to change directions? Okay, that is the magic question. So, and this is really the shift. Your strategy isn't failing. Okay, I see this all the time. You just keep resetting. So every time you rewrite a post or change your messaging or pivot your whole niche or you rebrand yourself or you create something new, you essentially are erasing the momentum that you were trying to build in the first place, that you didn't allow to begin to compound, because business is a long game. We are in this for the long haul. We're not here for a quick fix or just as like, oh, I'm going to do this for the summer and see what happens. It's like, no, we're building a legacy here. So we're in it for the long game, yet we're expecting these really quick, immediate results. And when they don't happen, we go to fix something. We self-abandon or we self-interrupt essentially. And then we decide, okay, that strategy didn't work. It's not that the strategy didn't work. It just never actually got the chance to work. So businesses, I'm telling you, I've seen dozens and dozens of businesses over the last couple of years, and I've seen them blow up, explode, get clients, like create revenue, all of these things. It doesn't usually happen because of one strategy or one like magic key that unlocked everything. And then that's when it started working. They grow because one strategy gets refined over months, sometimes years. Okay. But when we give it that sufficient amount of time, the momentum actually starts to compound, and trust compounds, and your messaging compounds because people are associating you with a specific message and specific topics and specific pillars, and your authority begins to compound. But that only happens if you stop interrupting it. Because imagine this example that I used with the podcast, how they were like, I posted my first episode last week and I'm really disappointed because it's not working yet. It's like, imagine if this person posts an episode every week for 6 months. Like, the result is going to be drastically different than the result is after 1 week. You have to let things compound over an extended period of time. So instead of asking, what should I change here? The question that we're going to start asking now is, what evidence do I have that this actually needs to be changed? And you have to be able to separate facts from feelings and from assumptions. When something doesn't work right away, we obviously feel a certain way, and those feelings lead to stories. And oftentimes those stories are assumptions. Our brains are wired for negativity. So usually the assumption in the story is going to be a negative story. Like, nobody wants to listen to this. I don't have my messaging right. Nobody cares about this. Nobody's gonna, be interested in this thing that I'm talking about. And those assumptions and those feelings are exactly that. They're assumptions, they're feelings, they're stories. They're not facts. So even if I were using this case study of this person that I was talking to this morning about the one episode, okay, you had one episode and you had one download. That's a fact. Also, the fact is there's one person that listened to this. One person, one human being that decided this was worth their time to listen in and to download and to tap into. That's huge. I would love to have one person who's interested in my work and interested in what I have to talk about be sitting in the same room with me so I could have a chat like you, right? This is a huge thing to celebrate. But instead, our brain goes, no, it's not enough. Oh, it's just one person. Oh, whatever. We have to separate those things. So the fact is, on week 1, episode 1, I had one download. So on week 2, what would I expect to see? And by week 3 or 4 or by month 6, what would I hope to see? And from there, that's when I can get actual data and actual facts to help drive my decisions moving forward as far as this specific strategy goes. So maybe over the next 6 months, if I'm committing to posting an episode every week for 6 months, I'm going to be looking for an increased number of downloads. So if I see that over the weeks, numbers are increasing, that's going to be a good sign for me, right? That's actual data that's telling me, no, people are listening. It may be taking a little bit longer to pick up than I would maybe like, but it's actually working. I might also pay attention to what episodes got more downloads. What were the topics or things that I was talking about that people really were interested in? And I'm going to pay close attention to that. That's actual data that's going to help drive how I moving forward, right? So when you go to change your offer 5 million times because you think it's not working, have you given it enough time? Have you done enough market research to really decide, is this something that my ideal client actually needs? Or am I just jumping ship and changing this up every other week because I feel uncomfortable that nobody's buying it? The next time you go to sit down and rewrite your messaging, or you sit with ChatGPT and go, I don't think my audience is understanding. Let me just scrap this and start over. Like, actually really look at what data you have. What have people been paying attention to? What are the conversations that you're having in your coaching calls or in your sales conversations or in just conversations that you're having about the language that people are using? Like, that's actual data. If you continue to buy courses, I love me a good course. Okay. I'm a course junkie. I have lots of courses and I love learning, but I have to ask myself, am I purchasing this or am I going into this because I feel uncomfortable, because I feel like there's something I'm missing? Or am I coming at it from a place of like, I'm just really excited to learn this and to add this to my strategy, possibly if it works for me, and see how it works with what I'm already doing? Or is it like a panic, like, oh, I need this to save me type of decision? These are very different ways of coming at your business. And when we can learn to sit in the uncomfortableness, right? Sit in the discomfort of things not working immediately, it becomes a lot easier to look at your strategy and look at your business from a neutral standpoint, looking at it from data versus looking at it from like, I got to fix something. And also, I just want to say too, like, your intuition plays a huge role in this. If you intuitively are like, this strategy isn't for me, it's not working for me, that's one thing. But if it's simply just like a strategy hop, like, okay, let me try this. Okay, let me go try this. Okay, I see her doing this, so I'll try that. It's just a very different way of moving inside of your business. And a lot of you are trying to solve this uncertainty and solve this discomfort, not the actual strategy itself. So I hope this was helpful for you today. I'm really thinking about this question, like, why do so many incredible coaches keep starting over, essentially keep self-interrupting? Because I know for a fact that they're not lacking intelligence or skill or anything like that. I think we're interrupting ourselves before the momentum has a chance to compound. And I honestly believe that that one habit is costing people years inside of their business. Because I think back in the beginning of my business, I'm very much owned that I was a strategy hoe. Like I was jumping around from strategy to strategy, like just trying things, doing exactly that, being like, oh, I saw this on Instagram, or oh, this was a $27, download or whatever. I'm going to try this. And this is what's going to fix everything. I really wish somebody had grabbed me by the shoulders and like shaken me and said, Sandy, like, no, it's not the strategy. It's just that you keep jumping around. That was the habit that I was in. And that I know for sure cost me years in my business. It cost me revenue because once I finally got to the point where I was comfortable speaking to my ideal client, where I had my signature offer, where I had pricing locked in, where my messaging felt solid and like something that I could back, it was never about strategy, right? It was just about me giving it enough time to actually compound. Once I learned how to do that and to stay in it and sit in the uncomfortable, everything changed. So this idea has really changed how I'm thinking about growth moving forward, how I think about decision making, and really building a business that compounds instead of constantly restarting, because the constant restarting is subtle. You guys, it's very, very subtle. And it's not like a full rebrand every week or anything like that, but it's these constant little tweaks, and it is energetically draining. This is really becoming the foundation of something much bigger that I'm building, and I'm so excited about this. So I hope this was so helpful for you today. I would love for you to hop over to Instagram and share what you're taking away from this, or even share your experience with self-interruption and starting over and what strategies you're kind of hopping around to. No shade over here. Like I said, I've done it. I still find myself doing it at times because, something shiny, right? None of us are immune to that. But I want to remind you that most online coaching business are not failing. And when I say failing, I don't even mean like failing like they're not working. I mean just going slowly, moving slowly because of a bad strategy. There's millions of different strategies out there that we can use to build our businesses. It's that they're staying small because we think we need to keep interrupting a perfectly good strategy that feels perfectly good to you and is perfectly aligned with you in the season of life you're in before it actually has time to work. So hop on over. Let me know what stood out to you. If you resonate with this episode, please consider leaving a review too. It really helps me out. I cannot tell you how excited I get when I see a review pop up for the podcast, because it helps us get this into the ears of other women just like you who are building businesses and who are ready to just blow their businesses up. So I love you. I will see you next time. Mwah.
If you are sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, this episode was made for me, you have two options. You can book your absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call. On this call, we'll take a look at your current life and business structure, identify where your gaps are, and show you how to close those gaps so you can get better results with less effort by working smarter and focusing your time on what actually moves the needle forward. The link is in the show notes for you. Or if you're ready to go from one-off wins to repeatable revenue with structure, strategy, and sales that support your life and keep dream clients coming back and your calendar full without burning out, you can apply to work together by clicking the link in the show notes. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. And if this episode hits home, please consider leaving a review, hitting those stars, and sending it to your biz bestie who's also ready to build a life and business on purpose. I'll see you next time.